buffet. Here's ABC's Mark Remillard.
Attorney Gary Dordick represents Serge Svetnoy, a lighting technician who Dordick says was on set when Alec Baldwin fired the gun during filming that killed a cinematographer.
The bullet that killed Helena Hutchins and injured Joel Souza passed by Mr. Svetnoy's face so close the bullet fragments hit.
She's been wanting to get vaccinated for months after her mother got really sick from COVID. She got her second dose of a Pfizer vaccine at Ohio Health.
It really feels like a miracle. Sometimes I think I'm dreaming.
Now, this was her first time ever in Ohio. She's traveling back to the Democratic Republic of Congo at the end of this month. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And a sweeping bill that increases charges, penalties, and civil lawsuits against protesters in Ohio is moving forward. Andrew Kinsey reports.
Ohio House Republicans passed House Bill 109 out of committee. A lot of debate followed the demonstrations nationwide last summer. Protesters say the Ohio Law and Order Act would protect police, but opponents say the penalties are too harsh because 5 people blocking a street could be jailed. I'm Andrew Kinsey.
The language of that bill mimics federal law concerning support of terrorist groups. The American Civil Liberties Union calls the legislation an extreme attack on free speech. I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local, just the way you like it.
Are you traveling? Working a little bit too much? Is your fur baby starting to get a little shaggy? Let Dirty Paws be your one-stop shop for all of your pet care needs. Stop in and see us at 202 18th Street or give us a call at 304-639-7754 to schedule your appointments for dog grooming, doggy daycare, and dog boarding today.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Toyota's full lineup of four-wheel and all-wheel drive vehicles combine our legendary reliability with the safety and handling necessary to take on any terrain, element, or adventure that comes your way. And with 12 available models, including Camry, Venza, and the all-new Corolla Cross, there's a style for everyone. Visit buyatoyota.com for the latest offers and to find a dealer near you. Toyota, your four-wheel and all-wheel drive specialists. Let's go places.
Hello, everyone, from the Watchdog. I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Look for mostly cloudy skies, a high near 79. Late evening, overnight showers for your Thursday, with temperatures near 46 for the low. And then mostly cloudy with a few peaks of sunshine by late day for your Friday, with highs in the mid to upper 50s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
You're early.
Roger that.
It's Thursday.
Why even call it Thursday? Problem? We have pizza on Thursday.
Places, please. Quiet down.
Here is a complete disc jockey show with all the modern pace of today's exciting radio.
Good morning. Just get started.
Seriously. Let's go.
It's showtime.
News, information, conversation, controversy, and fun. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
In the immortal words of Ronald Reagan, well, there we go again. Another day, another donut, but another day, another show. 7-Eleven here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 50 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. A little cooler down here at my home studio. 45 degrees at the home studio in Elm Grove. 48 degrees and clear skies at the Robinson Auto Group studio downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Clear right now, going to be cloudy for most of the morning. Might see a little bit of sunshine peeking through during the day. Showers coming in later in the day today. 68, saw somewhere, someone predicting close to 70, 71 for today. Aaron's got it pegged at 68, so let's just call it around 70 for today. So, and it's going to be a nice warm day today. A little bit breezy. This will be the hot one of the next 7 days. Temperatures will drop down 50s tomorrow, and then 40s on into the weekend. We'll have the full forecast coming up a little bit later on with Aaron Myler from the Big 7, WTRF TV. And if I noticed that, we've been talking about how Aaron's been handling the snow situation. First it was, we might see a few little white things coming out of the sky, and then he called it a mix to try and hide the name. And then yesterday he talked about flakes and flurries and for just maybe a little bit of time. I noticed this morning now it's like, well, we might have a couple of days worth of flakes and flurries. I've told you before, I think he was just like preparing us slowly. He was boiling the frog slowly for this potential. It's not going to be a snow event, but I think we're going to see some snow this weekend. I feel that way.
I mean, Aaron's predicting it for overnight, so a majority of us are probably not even going to notice that it's there.
Yes, that seems to be it, but if you listen to what he had to say at the very end of the TV cast there, it sounded to me like he was saying we might even see more of it than just one day, so we'll find out. Plus, the people at the Big 7 decided they ought to dig into this, so Channel 7 did a story yesterday on what will the winter weather be like, how much snow will we get. Interesting that they didn't just go to their own internal meteorologist, they went out to National Weather Service or NOAA or someone like that. We'll talk to Aaron about all of that. Coming up a little bit later on this morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show, 7:12, 12 minutes after the hour. Biffy, I would assume you would join me in saluting all of the veterans in our audience for the service they have provided, yes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that shouldn't even be a thought.
You're right, it shouldn't be, and it is sad sometimes. We are sort of required to stop and think about it, take notice of it. Today is Veterans Day. The Armistice Day, armistice was signed on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, so that's why it's always on the 11/11. That's why Veterans Day is the day that it is. And we certainly would join everybody across the Ohio Valley and across the country in saluting and thanking and showing appreciation for all of the veterans of whatever era they come. We still have, of course, some, I think, certainly some from the Korean War still around. I don't know if we have any World War II vets still hanging around here in the Valley or not. Plenty from Vietnam and, of course, the more recent Middle Eastern wars. So wherever you may have served, be aware that you are appreciated. Here's just a little audio montage, if you will, just saying thank you.
Today is Veterans Day.
Thank you for your service.
The Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines,
and the Coast Guard.
Thank you for your service.
Today is Veterans Day.
Thank you for your service.
A day to honor all military service members.
Honor military servicemen and women.
Service and sacrifice.
Risk their lives for their country.
Thank you for your service.
So let's say a big thank you
to all the veterans.
Happy Veterans Day.
Showtime.
I said I wasn't sure how many World War I or II veterans are around here. I just don't have an answer to that. How many World War II veterans are still alive in the country? About 250,000. About 250,000 World War II veterans are still with us, according to numbers from the VA. Veterans Day always on the 11th day of the 11th month, marking the armistice back in 1918, the formal agreement that ended World War I. That's why we have Veterans Day today. It was originally called Armistice Day, as I mentioned. Now it's called Veterans Day. From 1919 through 1953, the year I was born, it was called Armistice Day. Then it was President Eisenhower who changed it to Veterans Day in 1954. Eisenhower, of course, himself, not just a president, but our military general who took us primarily through World War II. About 250,000, 240,000, not quite, but almost 250,000 World War II veterans are still alive today. This is I'm looking at some questions that people ask about Veterans Day. Are active military duty considered veterans? And the answer is technically no. Veterans are those who have served but are no longer members of the military. not those who are still serving. So if you're still serving, well, I guess that makes sense, right? You're not a veteran until after you leave. I think we sort of salute them all together, Biff. It kind of is the way it works, but
Well, and Veterans Day gets confused with Memorial Day, which was back in May.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of these patriotic holidays, people get them all confused, right? You're right. Veterans Day, Memorial Day. There's something else. There's a third one in here. They all tend to get confused. They each have a very specific meaning. Memorial Day, of course, is for those who have gone on, right? Veterans Day is for those who are alive or dead, who were at one time members of the military. They are our veterans. And yeah, you're right. Those days can oftentimes get confused. Let's see. The Purple Heart. We always hear about the Purple Heart. Purple Heart is given to people who are wounded in combat. So if someone has a Purple Heart, if you know a veteran with a Purple Heart, it means not just they served, but they served and they fought and they were wounded. About 2 million Purple Hearts have been awarded since it was established. But that goes back to 1932. So someone has a Purple Heart. It's a pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. Who had the original idea for a Purple Heart? Well, we established it in 1932, but the guy who first thought about doing something like the Purple Heart, little old general by the name of George Washington, he came up with the idea. In his army, he called it the Badge of Military Merit. Now we call it the Purple Heart. So it's been around for a long time. Lots of good story in the Morning Intel today. Call to your attention. Morning Intel interviews a number of veterans. Really some good perspective from those veterans. I'd like you to take a look at it. It's in the Intel. Jocelyn King, Alan Olson both contributed to the story. Ohio Valley veterans appreciate community's thanks. I think they talked to a lot of these veterans at Bethlehem Elementary School yesterday, where the students invited, parents, fathers, grandparents, uncles, neighbors, whoever, to come for something they called Donuts and Dog Tags. What a clever name. So the school invited veterans to come in and to celebrate Veterans Day. They did it yesterday with the school. That's just really, really neat. But if you want to get some perspective of some of these veterans, what they think and so on, lots of good quotes from them in the Morning Intel today, and I call it to your attention. One veteran says that, who spent 22 years in the military, says he remembers while serving how many care packages the troops got from their people at home. A lot of folks don't understand what it's. I don't. I'm not a veteran. I want to be very clear about that. A lot of folks don't understand what it's like to be overseas, cut off from your family, usually in some kind of dangerous situation, and how much the packages and letters from home and so on. This veteran says after coming back from service, he was happy to see how many organizations still help veterans by building wheelchair ramps into the homes of those who need them, or in some cases, actually building them housing. In fact, for Veterans Day today actually, but the mortgage group Veterans United just gave 11 homes to 11 veterans who have gone above and beyond to give even more back to their community. This group, Veterans United, decided on 11 homes. Why? Obviously, because it's 11-11. Jonathan Brown is one of the recipients who was surprised when the Veterans Group tracked him down and said, "We are going to give you a home."
Ownership for me is big. To have something to pass down to your children that they can say is theirs. The home buying process has been difficult. I put in 12 offers and missed out on every single one of them.
We have a special guest today. His name is Andre. We have a surprise for you. The folks at Veterans United are going to buy your house for you. Paid in full.
Stop! Stop it! Stop! What? Are you serious? You're serious? This is real? I'm good. I'm good. I'm not crying.
Oh, yeah, it is.
They just paid for my house.
By the way, that weird music in the background, it's not like there was some crazed TV show or something. The announcement was made at a skating rink, so that's the kind of music that we're playing through a skating rink. But 11 veterans across the country yesterday got their own house, courtesy of Veterans United, and that's pretty good. A couple of comments here off the text line. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of one other day, Biffy, Armed Forces Day. So we have Armed Forces Day, the other day. So thank you for telling me that at 304-214-1600. And off the text line, active duty military are celebrated on Veterans Day. And I would concur with that. I would only note that according to the little info I have here from the VA, veterans, active duty military are not technically considered to be veterans until they leave the military. We certainly salute and thank them for their service on Veterans Day as we would any other days. And a number of places give out stuff for Veterans Day. Outback Steakhouse giving out free bloomin' onions to veterans. Starbucks has a Veterans Day special. They do it every year. Active duty military spouses, and veterans get a free grande hot coffee. Dunkin' Donuts giving out a free donut to veterans, no purchase necessary. Krispy Kreme, not to be outdone, giving away free donuts and coffee, if you will. Other restaurants, these are chains, it's easier to look at the chain restaurants. Other restaurants offering deals include the Olive Garden, Buffalo Wild Wings, IHOP, Texas Roadhouse, Denny's, Applebee's, Chili's, and Hooters.
Sure, why not?
Of course, why not? Celebrating Veterans Day. Basically, almost all chain restaurants have some sort of deal. I thought it was interesting. I saw where Matt Coughlin from Matt's Tiger Pub, Biffy, he's doing something I think really interesting. All veterans today will get I think it's $30. And if I made the number wrong, don't go in and say Monroe said 30. Where's my? I think it's a $30 credit at Matt's Tiger Pub, which you can use for anything. On Matt's Facebook post, he says, you can use this $30 credit if you're a veteran for drinks, food, even playing the lottery games. So that's just kind of neat. Hey, instead of a free donut, it's like, come in, I'll give each veteran $30. That's a very nice deal. And of course, Quaker Steak and Lube has a Military Monday every Monday, so I'm sure they'll be doing things too. So, anyways, lots of people just want to take it. It sounds dumb, I guess, in a way. Well, you put your life on the line for us. Maybe you even were wounded. We'll give you a donut. It sounds somewhat unequal, right? It's really just a way of saying thank you, I guess. Anyway, from Biff and I and all of us here on the Watchdog, to all who are veterans, to all who are serving and have served, a very happy Veterans Day to you. And if you have any Veterans Day thoughts, you want to text me, 304-214-1600 text line, 304-214-1600, or if you choose, you are able to give us a call, 304-232-8255, 304-232-TALK. Now, what else is coming up today? Biff?
Yeah.
Today may be our last visit with one of our political analysts. Matt Robeson is on my do-do list. I am not happy with Matt. Matt had a piece published nationally yesterday where he says that this country does too much for senior citizens. We need to slow down on helping the old folks and start helping the young folks better. I read that piece called Matt. Matt, old friend, old pal, old buddy. Do you know how old I am? Do you understand that I get Social Security? Oh, hi, Howard. How are you? Guess you saw my piece. Yes, I saw the piece you wrote. Yes, indeed, I did see it. Yes, I did see it. Under the headline, there's a reason we never talk about the government's massive bias for the old over the young. And he argues for us to redirect as a country our priorities less to the seniors and more to the youngsters. I said, Matt, you want to do one last show with me? You want to come on and do one more time? So he's going to try to defend himself, and I'm going to try to explain to him why, as an old person, I think we need the goodies. So that's coming up a little bit later on this morning. Wheeling area Congressman Dave McKinley continues to be criticized by some in his own party for voting yes on the bipartisan infrastructure bill. He really defended himself yesterday with Hoppy. I've actually put a request in to get Dave to come on this show. We haven't talked to him for years, I don't think. But I'd love to chat with him a little bit about this vote in particular. And I'm going to try and do that. But he was on with Hoppy yesterday. But David did not back down. I mean, he was like, yeah, you want to come after me for doing good things for my state? Because, you know, there are some Republicans. I mean, there were 13 Republicans, including McKinley, who voted for the bipartisan infrastructure bill. And other Republicans are really going after him. I mean, Donald Trump, several other Republicans suggesting that committee chairmanship or committee appointments should be removed. I mean, you know, calling them traitors and so on. Dave McKinley was really hell with them, basically, is what he said. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on this morning. Have a new survey. You know I love surveys. New survey says that Facebook is making America a worse country. I have to think about that. You know, I've got a lot of problems with Facebook. Is it making things worse? Well, I'm going to get your take on it. I'll share the survey with you, and we'll see what you have to say. Inflation is soaring. The numbers were not good on inflation when they came out yesterday. President Biden calls reversing inflation his top priority. A lot of folks have taken note that with the raging inflation that we saw in numbers, and I'll share some of these numbers with you. They are really scary numbers. With the numbers on inflation, it's going to make that Build Back Better bill really harder to get passed, and it gives Joe Manchin a lot more credibility when he says, because he has been saying for some time, we can't afford all this when we've got inflation on the horizon. So I want to share some of those numbers with you coming up this morning. And a couple of quick hits in the news will include a teacher in California who asked a really inappropriate question on a history test. And I want to share the question with you, see if you agree. I think I would agree. I don't think it's appropriate, but we'll talk about what the teacher asked and what is being done about it. I've got the best time to fall asleep. No, stop it. No, it's not during the morning show every weekday morning. No, that's not it. No. You know, some of you people, I know what you're thinking, but no, that's not it. I have a survey, or not a survey, but a scientific look at what is the best time for you to fall asleep for your heart to keep in good health. So I've got that coming up for you a little bit later on this morning. And also a belated birthday for Big Bird. We'll do that coming up too. So that's some of what I've got coming up. You know what's on your mind. If anything I said strikes your fancy, feel free to text me, 304-214-1600. If you prefer, you can call me, 304-232-8255. Here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Let's check some headlines. And I want you to listen to, I think it's the first headline Stephen has here. And I'm not, this is not a criticism of Stephen, okay? This is not, please, it's not. But I want you to listen to the first headline that we're going to get here from the Big Seven. And I want to talk about that coming up. Is the first one? It's one of the first ones. I want to talk about it after we're done. Also, we'll have some sports for you. Then Aaron will be in and we'll check the forecast, including a look at possibilities for snow. And what's the winter weather outlook going to be? I have all of this coming up in the next half hour as the Watchdog Morning Show for a Thursday continues.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now. Metro News Sports, good morning. I'm Kyle Wiggs. 6'3" Polka High School basketball standout Isaac McNeely made it official Wednesday night, signing with the University of Virginia.
Down against COVID-19. Although overall COVID numbers have improved for the Mountain State, booster shots are taking center stage as of right.
All day, it was really a special moment for me. I hope I can continue to make them proud. Just to have this moment signed in front of all of them, and a lot of kids don't get this opportunity, so I'm just really thankful to have it signed that letter, and I'm really thankful to be officially a part of such a great program.
McNeely was last year's Bill Evans Award winner as the state's top player. He led Polka to the AA championship game with averages of 22 points, 4.5 rebounds, nearly 4 assists per game. 6'3" guard Josiah Davis from Tays Valley Christian School signed with WVU.
Signing that paper is me signing taking another key step in my future, but definitely when I signed that paper, I knew I was signing over to a right program, great coaches, great atmosphere and everything, so I'm ready for it.
Davis is a native of Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. He averaged nearly 21 points, 5 rebounds per game, while shooting 69% from the field. Mountaineers also signed Josiah Harris. He's a 6'7", 210-pound forward from Canton, Ohio. Marshall's men's basketball team signed 6'9" Jacob Connor from Kettering, Ohio, and 7-foot center Michael Handleton from Huntsville, North Carolina. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It's Marshall's 75 game Saturday. The Thundering Herd host UAB. The game will honor the lives lost November 14, 1970. Marshall is 4-1 in Conference USA, hosting a UAB team that's 4-1 in the league as well. The 21st ranked WVU men's soccer team plays Georgia State in the Mid-America Conference Tournament semifinals. That game in DeKalb, Illinois today. From the Metro News Sports Desk, I'm Kyle Wiggs.
Hi, it's Howard Monroe. When you join Brad Leonard and me weekday mornings from 7 to 10 for the Watchdog Morning Show, we'll have all the top stories of the day. We'll go behind the scenes with some informative guests giving you some interesting information. And, of course, some off-the-wall, off-the-beaten-path kind of issues and stories that you may not hear in the top headlines. Plus, your news, your sports, your weather. Zach Petty, Bill DeFabio, Tony Caridi. We're just your morning breakfast club, getting together and chewing the fat. Hope you'll join us weekday, 7 to 10. The Watchdog Morning Show, right here.
Do you enjoy sports betting or fantasy sports? If so, know that gambling's not a way to earn your income. BeforeYouBet.org helps keep gambling fun and assesses your risk for problem gambling. Be the fan with a plan this season and take our quiz at BeforeYouBet.org.
If you're on Medicare and have questions about health and drug coverage options, join the Ohio Department of Insurance at a Medicare event near you. Learn about Medicare open enrollment, financial assistance programs, and important deadlines. Everyone on Medicare should review their health and drug plan options. Annual open enrollment runs October 15th through December 7th, and new plan coverage begins January 1st. Visit insurance.ohio.gov or call 1-800-686-1578 to find an event near you.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day.
Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Toyota's full lineup of four-wheel and all-wheel drive vehicles combine our legendary reliability with the safety and handling necessary to take on any terrain, element, or adventure that comes your way. And with 12 available models, including Camry, Venza, and the all-new Corolla Cross, there's a style for everyone. Visit buyatoyota.com for the latest offers and to find a dealer near you. Toyota, your four-wheel and all-wheel drive specialists. Let's go places.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights! Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Live and local for the Ohio Valley, the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
I had the radio on. I was driving. Trees went by.
It is 7:38, 22 till the hour here. Watchdog Morning Show, Worry Thursday. I asked you to listen to Stephen's headlines there, and I want to repeat. This is not a criticism of Stephen nor of WTRF. This is done by everybody in West Virginia. The TV stations all do it. Mark Curtis does it. The newspapers do it. Stephen Allen Adams does it. Metro News does it. Brad does it. Everybody does this, all right? The lead story that Stephen had on the headlines from the Big Seven for us a few minutes ago, Governor Justice is warning West Virginians not to let their guard down against COVID-19. They need to get vaccinated. I don't know how y'all define news. Back in the day when I used to actually lecture on the subject, I would always say news is that which is out of the ordinary, all right? The line I would often use is, people say, why do you report all the traffic deaths or somebody got hit by a car? We wouldn't report that 642 people crossed the street safely today. That's not news, because we figure they crossed the street. It's when one person gets hurt. So that news is that which is out of the ordinary. Which is why I'm really getting tired of all the media. Every single time Jim Justice shows up in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, in front of a reporter with a pad and pencil, but usually at these briefings of his, and every single time, it was 3 times a week, I think now it's down to 2 times a week, what does he say? What's he say, Biff? He says, why, COVID is bad, we're all going to die, you got to get vaccinated. And the next time, when he comes before the cameras, the pads, the paper, the microphones, he says, why, COVID is bad, it's killing us, we're going to die, you got to get vaccinated. And the next time when he comes before the pad, the paper, the microphones, and the camera, he says, "Why, COVID is bad. You're going to die. We got to get vaccinated." At what point does that stop being news? At what point do we stop reporting the governor justice wants you to get vaccinated? Because we've been doing it 3 times a week for months. I got thinking this morning, Biff, on this subject. If Glenn Elliott held a press conference today, called reporters down to Wheeling City Hall, and said, "I'm glad you're all here. I just want to talk about something I think that we ought to be aware of. The sky is blue." Let's assume for some reason people feel that, well, geez, that's kind of strange, but Mayor Elliott reported to this. So they do a headline. Hey, Mayor says sky is blue. And then 2 days later he calls and says, "I want you all to come back in. Got a press conference here at City Hall." And the mayor says, "Hey, look up there, the sky's still blue." Second day headline, Mayor Elliott says the sky is blue. How many times will they have to say the sky is blue will they stop saying this is a news story? Now, I am 100% in agreement with Jim Justice. 100,000% in agreement with Jim Justice. COVID is bad. We're still seeing people dying. Vaccination is the answer. We're going to die. You got to get vaccinated. I'm in for that. He is 100% correct. But Lord Almighty, Biff, how many times do we have to report the same thing over and over and over again? Governor, you know what? I think maybe if I was a writer for a state, what I would be doing is keeping track for the 1,642 time today. Maybe the news is how long will we keep this streak going? Now, am I being ridiculous on this, Biff? And you can tell me if I am. Am I being silly about this?
Quite frankly, I don't care. I mean, it really does not bother me one bit.
All right, that's fair. That's
fair. I'm fully vaccinated. I got to wait another week and a half to get the booster. I'm going to go out. I'm going to get my booster, and then that'll be it for me. I'll be fully vaccinated. I'll have the booster, and I'll keep living the way I've been living.
And life will go on.
And life will go on, yes.
I guess I'm just a guy. I come out of a journalism background, a news background, and sometimes I look at things and I go, it's not news. Why do we report this? I agree with him, but why do we report it? It's the reporting that gets me. And again, this is not meant as a criticism of Stephen or Channel 7. Not one bit. Because everybody does it. Brad does it. Stephen Adams does it. Everybody does it. Just because the governor says it for the 52nd time, does that make it news? Maybe some of you are going to text me and say it's just because I don't like the governor, and maybe you're right. I'm going to talk to Aaron, and then Biffy, hold your thoughts on vaccination, because, Lord, you knew it was going to come to this. You knew it was going to come to this. There is yet another incentive being offered for vaccinations. I will tell you about that after we talk to Aaron Myler from the Big 7. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Howard. How are you?
Let me check. All my parts are in place, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I just stick with the weather, so I don't deal with the rest of the news side of things. I just stay where I am over here in my own little world, so I'm exempt from everything else you just said.
Well, to me, actually, I was going to use a bad example because actually, I was going to say, would you just keep on reporting? It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be beautiful. But yeah, weather's a little bit different because actually you do report it's going to be a beautiful day.
Well, one of those things when I was in broadcast school one of the reasons I love weather so much is I was like, no matter what, I always have a story. If it's a nice day, if it's a terrible day, I can keep saying the same thing over again, and somebody is hearing it for the first time that day. So, I don't think people realize how many times I do the weather, because people don't watch the whole show, all the shows back to back. I do the weather 17 times in a row. It's just back to back saying the same thing over and over again when it's not anything happening right now.
Yeah, and you got to try and find some different words to use or a slightly different perspective. I get it. I know how difficult that can be. And again, I'm not criticizing anybody, not Stephen, not Jenna, because it's the governor's press conference specifically I'm talking about. But you just wonder, The governor says the same thing at this press conference every single time he's in front of the people 3 times a week, in front of the reporters 3 times a week. At what point do you say, yeah, you said that yesterday and the day before and the day before? I don't think it's news anymore. But news is different than weather. I would agree, because weather
I
is
love being out of it, everything else.
You're inside the walls of the weather center, and leave me alone, right?
Yeah, like I said, I can stay out of the way of all the rest of the news stuff, which keeps me a little bit more sane.
Weather today, going to be a warm one, darn hot actually for November 11th, right?
Oh yeah, but we're gonna make up for it soon. So yeah, so 68 degrees for the high today. We're gonna see clouds up there, but again, mostly cloudy. I feel like it always looks more dramatically overcast. We'll still see a couple peaks of sunshine at sometimes, but we're gonna have some showers starting after dinner time today, and those will wrap up like early tomorrow morning, probably by like 2 or 3 a.m. So most people will it'll be tonight for everybody. And then otherwise, temperatures for this weekend dropping by about 25 degrees. High temperatures, like the warmest point of the day, is going to be in the low 40s.
Wow.
So we're really we're getting warm today, but then we're going to make up for it this weekend with cold temperatures.
And we're going to continue to see a little bit of rain for the weekend. And yes, some of that still, we talked about it every day this week, some of that may be white stuff, right?
Yeah, so we're going to see like in the morning on Saturday, probably early, and a lot of it is looking like it might be earlier in the morning, so you might not even see it by the time you wake up. We'll probably see a little bit of snow mixed in with that rain. It'll kind of be that thing where it's going to be like a rain shower, but then we'll have it's going to get cold enough where some of that might freeze for a period of time, then it'll probably eventually go back to fully rain. So it's going to kind of be like a little bit on and off. And then Sunday, we're just looking at some rain and snow showers through the day. So it's like some of them when it's colder will be a little bit of snow in there. Sometimes it will just be rain. It's just going to kind of be that kind of back and forth, just depending on how the temperatures change throughout the day.
I don't want to violate my own rule about you saying the same thing over and over again, but I'm going to say what I said yesterday. It seems to me, Aaron, every day you've ratcheted up the language a little bit. First it was, you might just see a white thing or two coming down. Then they became flakes and flurries. I do notice that you have on Sunday the phrase snow showers are possible.
I have, rain / snow. The problem is I have so few words to fit into this little box. There's not much space. So that's why you always see me abbreviating things, and then I have I have a whole list in my one Word document here that I have of ways to abbreviate words so that they fit, because it's just so difficult to put stuff in here. But R/S seemed like a better way of saying the same thing over again. It feels redundant when I say the same exact forecast all the time. So
I got you. I completely understand it. So it's going to be a very cool weekend. 42 on, is that Monday? I'm looking.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, 42 on Monday. So from a high today of 68 to a high of 42 on Monday. That is a major drop in temperature. And today 68, tomorrow 56. Then we're in the 40s throughout the actual weekend. So it's going to be a very cool weekend. Be aware of that. Now, I noticed that over at the Big 7, you guys, your news team here, did a look at winter weather predictions. How much snow are we in for? Not this weekend, but in general. So, yeah. Aaron, as part of the meteorological team at the Big 7, and based on the story that your own news team did, how much snow are we in for this winter?
So this is a La Nina year, like it was last year. So we're expecting a similar year overall. So we're thinking it's going to remain with just like that. Like I think 40 inches is like the average number we normally see. So it's not going to, but that's, again, 40 inches is over the whole year. The problem is when you're going to have those, if it just stays cold all winter long, you can you'll have snow and it'll stick around, and then you'll be able to whenever you get rain or something, you'll know you're going to get more. We're going to have wetter than average, and we're also going to have cold temperatures. So it's going to be like the intersection of cold air plus the above average precipitation that'll kind of, you need that proper timing for it all to work out. That's why it's hard to forecast fully for the whole winter, telling you okay, exactly on this day we're going to have all this snow, because it's going to be the intersection of the cold temperatures and the above average precipitation that'll give us that snow. So if you look back, I think it was beginning of February, and I think it was the beginning of February, we had like a ton of snow randomly one day, and then like later it's like not even, like we don't have any 5 minutes later. So I feel like it's just when you have usually the intersection of the cold temperatures and the precipitation to kind of make that happen. So we're looking at 40 inches-ish. That's a general, obviously very general, but kind of like last year's we're looking at.
So I'm gonna call it Goldilocks, but sort of not too bad, but not perfect either.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Just think back to last year where it's like we're not going to have, like I don't think we're going to have snow. It's kind of like we had snow that came down, and it might be there for a couple of days, and then it usually melted shortly thereafter. And then like most of the time it wasn't snow sitting on the ground for a whole month. We might have even sometimes gotten several inches last year, or I guess earlier this year. But like we got several inches, and then they melted over the next couple of days, and then we were fine for like a couple weeks. So it's going to kind of be, that's I think what we're thinking, because you just need like the perfect, not storm, but like, you know what I mean? Perfect, like storm is in the sense of like the general phrase people say, the perfect storm to get that snow to happen.
Right, I gotcha. All right, currently, I think we're about 50 degrees at the airport, 50 degrees at the Ohio County Airport. A little cooler here at my home studio. My thermometer outside says 45, so we're in the mid-40s here. I think it's 48 downtown, so just kind of roaming around there. It looks like the skies are going to come up probably cloudy a bit, I guess, this morning. Sometimes I can't tell if it's fog, if it's overcast, or if it's still just dark when I'm looking out the window.
Yeah, it's like when we have like that fog or like that haze that's kind of higher up, it's like a low cloud. I mean, all fog is essentially is just a cloud on the ground. So it's kind of like, it's not that high up, but it's low enough where you can still see the water in it. Kind of like when you're on a plane, you can see the water or the cloud. It's just, you can see it closer to the ground now.
Right. All right, Aaron, appreciate your time this morning as always. Good talking to you. We'll do it again tomorrow. Jeez, is tomorrow Friday already?
God bless.
Is tomorrow Friday already?
Yes, it is.
Holy mackerel.
I'm ready for it.
Well, I'm always ready for it. Don't get me wrong. It's just kind of snuck up on me. I didn't realize tomorrow's Friday. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow for Friday. Thanks a lot, Aaron. Have a good day.
See you too. Bye.
Aaron Myler, Big 7, WTRF TV, 8 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. As I mentioned, 50 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 45 here at my home studios, 48 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Coming up in a bit, I mentioned I'm going to do a couple of just quickie stories on some interesting things. One of them is, what's the best time to go to sleep? As I said, please, nobody say during my show. Unfortunately, of course, I got a text at 304-214-1600. Howard, at night I play your podcast to put me to sleep. Okay. All right. You know, we should probably just rename this from the text line to the Beat Up on Howard line. I think that's kind of where we are most of the time. But it's all right. It's okay. Could be worse. Could be like Steam Release on Friday with Hoppy and Radio Rich. Let's see. Off the text line, this is not criticism. This is actually a very positive thing to mention, and I apologize for not having done this earlier. Today's Veterans Day. We were talking about Veterans Day. Texter says, don't forget, if you want to thank a local veteran, attend the ceremony today, 11 o'clock, West Banco Arena. That's the Wheeling Veterans Day ceremony. It will last about an hour. All are welcome, all encouraged to attend. I meant to mention that earlier, and I didn't. Thank you for calling it to my attention. And yes, if you're looking for a way to salute veterans today, you could attend the Veterans Day ceremony, West Banco Arena, this morning at 11. Biff, do I have to do a break here at 6 before the hour?
We are good.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. You know, we're talking about Governor Justice, and y'all gonna have to get vaccinated. And I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have Baby Dog come out and kiss you and give you things because that's helps you get vaccinated. Do it for Baby Dog. We have seen all different kinds of incentives, right? Do it for Baby Dog. Win a lawnmower. Vax-A-Million in Ohio. I remember we had early on in the vaccine times, we had a shot for a shot, bars that would give you a free shot of beer if you came in and got your shot of, vaccine. So we've seen all different kinds of incentives, scholarships, cash, beer, trucks, everywhere. You knew it had to come to this eventually. There is a brothel who is offering free sex to anyone who gets vaccinated. It's Sex for Vax. Sex for Vax. It's a legal brothel. They have set up a vaccination booth, and anyone who gets the jab, there's a joke there, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use it. Anyone who gets the jab can spend 30 minutes with, quote, the lady of their choice. They didn't elaborate on what happens in those 30 minutes, but it's a brothel. So I'm guessing they're not getting tea.
Use your imagination.
You don't have to have a big imagination. It's a brothel.
No.
It's a brothel. It's not grocery store. What is for sale in a brothel? What do they have that you can get in a brothel? Boy. It's not just for men, by the way. They say women are welcome to take advantage of the deal, too. Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
I mean, because if they don't, then they'll get in trouble for not including women.
Yeah, well, that's true. They would then be,
Yeah.
be sued.
Yeah.
That would be a heck of a lawsuit to cover, right? And apparently it is working, at least to some extent. One guy told the reporter who did this story, one guy said that he had planned to get vaccinated. He was not anti-vax. He had planned to get vaccinated, but he just hadn't gotten around to it. But when he heard about the brothel, he thought, well, I might as well go do it now. The owner of the brothel says the pandemic had cut his business by 50%, so he wants as many people as possible to get the shot so they can come in and get jabbed in the other way. Oh, God help us. It's probably better than Baby Dog. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But you knew it had to come there. Come here. I mean, it's all that was left. Lawnmowers, cash prizes, kiss a dog, booze.
I'm surprised it took this long.
What's left? What's left? Sex. Sex for Vax. A jab for a jab. Oh, my God. Just put it in there. Does it hurt? Oh, God. Okay. All right. 304-214-1600 if you want to comment on anything except that. Just forget about that. I don't know any text about Sex for Vax. 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600 is the text line. Coming up after ABC News, which is next here at 8 o'clock, my friend Matt Robeson may not be my friend anymore because he wants to take money out of my wallet. He wants to take money out of my wallet. He says seniors in this country are given too much. We've got to stop thinking about the old people, start thinking about the young people. What the hell kind of thought is that? We'll talk to Matt about that coming up next on the Watchdog Morning Show. ABC covers the world right now.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
News.
Biff, I'm going to use the Sesame Street cut that I sent you overnight before I get to Matt. Hold on, let me look and see. Check my it says, I'm not sure how I labeled it, but let me see. Might have called it a big bird or something like that. Sent. Might have been in. Maybe I didn't. I guess I didn't. All right, it's from yesterday's Wise Brother. If you can maybe just pull it up that way. I was trying to save you having to do it yourself. It's let me see where I have it here. It's called. It's from yesterday on Wise Brother. Today is Sesame Street Day. Is the way it's slugged. Did you find it, Biff? Yes, that's it. Correct. Yeah, I'm gonna just do that. I'm gonna call it a belated birthday wish, but it was yesterday's. But we'll do that before I get to Matt, and then Matt after that. Thank you, and let me know when Matt's on the line. Thanks. What does Natalie need? Oh, okay.